guys, how are you all? Today I'm talking about the third episode of Sword Art Online Gun Gale Online, and I have a few issues with what just happened. I actually watched the most recent episode of Sword Art Online yesterday when I got back from Con Bravo, and it was like 12 o'clock at night, and I could barely focus on the episode itself, and I found that I kept zoning in and out, so I rewatched it again this morning bright and early, and I found that that was still kind of the case, and I was kind of like jumping around just because episode 3 was kind of slow paced. Some things were really great for character development, some things just kind of felt short for me. So episode 3 focused a lot on Sinon's character development. Sinon's actual name is Sinon, and Sinon is a very quiet girl. Judging from what I've skimmed in the light novels and what I've seen in the anime so far of like Sinon's personality, she is kind of like Kirito. If Kirito was a girl, Kirito would be Sinon, and not only in personality but also in looks. I was just kind of dumbstruck by the fact that Sinon in real life looks exactly like Kirito. The thing with Sinon is that even though she's like a totally badass like gun sniper person in the game, she actually has a fear of guns in real life. She has a backstory when she was at the bank with her mom as a little kid, and then there was like a robber coming in, and then she ended up grabbing the gun from him, and she shot him once out of fear, and then twice out of like retaliation because he was attacking her. I don't really see why she would be afraid of the gun. Like, obviously I'm not a psychologist and I can't really read into the complexities of phobias, but from my perspective, she's holding the gun and the gun is protecting her from this person. I think it would be more plausible, or I guess it would make more sense if Sinon was afraid of maybe blood or people dying or banks or even robbers in general. Like, I don't really think the gun is that much of a fear. Initially I thought it was going to be like she gets shot by it, her mom gets shot by it, a bunch of shots go off over her head or something, but no, it's just because she fires it, and after she fires the gun, she looks at what she's done, and I guess she's afraid of the gun because it has the power to kill people. This is where this character personality hole kind of comes in. Sinon is afraid of guns in real life, but she's not afraid of guns in the game, which I don't understand, because full dive in the virtual MMORPG is supposed to be like a full sensation body dive. You're not only directly physically feeling the weight of things, smelling certain things, hearing certain things. If you're full diving and holding the gun in a game is different from holding a gun in real life, I don't really see why that's as virtual or as real as it is. And judging by the fact that in SAO you can actually kill someone and have them actually die in real life, I thought that the pain factor and all the sensations would be very, very prevalent. I don't know if there are certain settings you can fix in the virtual MMORPG game just so that I guess the gun doesn't feel as menacing. The only thing I can possibly deduce from what we've seen is that maybe Sinon is taking on like a different kind of persona, which is why as Sinon Asada she might be afraid of guns, but as Sinon, one of the top snipers in GGO, she might take on a different persona and be fearless. And it's more like a facade for her. I'm not really entirely sure yet. I think I have to go and read ahead more in the light novel, have to see more of how they bring out her character and her personality and how they flesh it out in the anime. When I was watching episode 3, I was trying to figure out if Kirito is actually the main character in GGO, because I don't think he's going to develop much beyond this point, other than in like physical power-ups. After all, we know Kirito's backstory, we know what's happened to him in SAO, we know his stuff with Asuna, and then most of what's going on with character development right now has to do with Sinon, because she does have a very dark backstory. She has some fears and conflicts she has to overcome, and she does have a very clear goal in mind. Kirito finally talks to Asuna about joining GGO, and I have no idea why Asuna would not volunteer to go with him, because she's actually a pretty good gamer, and if her husband in the game is going, I don't see why she's not going. I guess she's content with playing housewife now in the fairy world. This is what kind of pisses me off about Asuna's character. She goes from being like super badass and independent to being this very like girly and dependent character, depending on this one guy, and like, oh, it just bothers me so much. GGO is just not progressing the way that I want it to. I thought it was gonna go from like, oh, investigation, Kirito meets Sinon, Sinon backstory. Like, I thought we would start with Kirito before we actually get introduced to Sinon within the game. But they're doing it as if it's like Sinon is the main character of GGO versus Kirito is the main character of the entire series. Also, I'm getting the sense that if you watch GGO on its own, it's not going to entirely make sense for you, and you're not going to entirely enjoy it as much. I know initially I said that you can watch GGO on its own because it's a whole new premise, but the way that they've set it up and the way that they've paced it, it just reminds me a lot of a continuation of SAO and ALO. There are no flashbacks to tell us why Asuna and Kirito are together. We don't know why any of the supporting characters are friends with them, and it's just like they just seem kind of supporting characters to the fact that Sinon is the main focus of the GGO story. I feel like GGO is set up to really target the fans that are following the series right now. It's not really something you can just throw yourself in and watch on its own. There isn't a lot of action yet, and we're already at episode 3. All the introductory stuff should be done by episode 3. If there isn't action by episode 4 next week, fans are just gonna start like dropping it. Most people will do the 3-episode review, the 3-episode trial weeks, and you know, if episode 4 doesn't like throw you right into the full dive GGO, they're gonna lose a lot of viewership. Let me know what you guys think of the 3rd episode of GGO. We're seeing a lot more Sinon than we ever thought we would, and a lot sooner than we thought that we would too. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you like this, don't forget to hit like or subscribe. My Con Bravo vlog is in the works, as is my other videos and posts. I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye!